Hello, this is William Witcher, and today we're going to convert hex into decimal. In doing so, this is important in the field of cybersecurity, computer forensics, reading hex tables. It also has an attribute in other professions as well. Okay, let's get started. The first thing you want to do is you want to set up a hex to dec position table. Here I see on the first row I've set up my dec table here. It goes from 0 to 15. Second row, I've got my hex table set up. That's from 0 to 9 and then A through F as values. Okay, so here's the process that I use. Let's say you have a given hex value. You want to read that from right to left. And yes, that means reading it backwards. So you have a hex value, let's say of 4D5. You want to read that as 5D4. My next step here is, let's say we take 5, which is, as I'm reading it backwards, position 0. It's got a value of 5. We have D, which now is position 1, has a value of 13. And we have 4, which is in position 2. It has a value of 4. Now, the next step here is, remember, we're really talking about base 16 versus base 10. Okay? So, in the first process where we had a value of 5, you want to take 5, multiply that by 16 to the 0 power. We all know that anything to the 0 power is 1. So 5 times 1 is 1. In our next step here, we have 13, which is multiplied by 16 to the first. If you follow the pattern here, that's position 0, position 1. Later we'll go to position 2. Okay, so 13 times 16, that's 208. Now we have the value of 4, which is multiplied by 16 squared, or 16 times 16, essentially position 2. That equals 1024. You want to add these three items up. That results in 1237, and that's your answer. Okay, I've done it here as well, kind of a layout for you, and also gives you the same approach, which gives you the decimal equivalent of 4D5. Let's try this again with another example. Okay. Let's say we have a given hex value of 80E1. Again, we're going to read this backwards from right to left. And yes, it's reading it backwards. So, in our first position, we're going to say we've got 1, which is in position 0. It's got a value of 1. We have E, which is in position 1. And we look at our table here. E has a value of 14. Okay? Now, what we're going to take a look at here is 0. Which is in position 2, has a value of 0, and then 8, which is in position 3, and has a value of 8. Okay, let's walk through this. As we said, our first item was 1. Okay, so that's 1 times, of course, 16 to the 0 power, which is 1. Now we have 14 times 16, that's 224. And then we have 0 times 16 squared, which is 0. And then we have 8, which is multiplied by 16 to the third, which is the equivalent of 32,768. Now let's add those up. And we end up with a value of 32,993, and that's your answer. I've done it here sort of in a long way math as well. You can always validate this by going to any number of websites. Here's a website here at binaryhexconverter.com. And folks, that's how you convert hex to decimal. I thank you for your time.